in general. I'm not sure how it is for you with
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
video,
yeah.
maybe the
It's very
same.
delayed.
Really bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get too much of a free promotion from them at all,
Yeah.
unfortunately. So whenever we release something, we try to make sure that we promote it ourselves. But like YouTube pushes it a little bit, but on the minimal side.
I mean, we can go on for that forever because I have so much. I also have inside knowledge. It's really bad, and unfortunately, it's changing so fast. The rules,
Right,
the new terms. I mean, every 2 months there's a new law, new rules. So everything is changing.
right,
It's
exactly.
annoying.
I feel like that with the Facebook and
Facebook, same
Facebook
thing.
ads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, yeah, and the AGBs every
Yeah.
time. Yeah, please accept them, new ones. All right. So we got 6 people
Yeah.
already. Okay, here we go. People are coming in. That's good.
Hi, people.
Hi,
Oh,
people.
they don't hear us probably. Or do they?
We got Matthew Sanchez. Can you see the chat, everybody? Or even you, Major Moment, can you see the chat?
We can't see the chat because we're not on YouTube or Twitch. We're just talking to you directly through Discord full
Yeah,
screen as
perfect.
well.
I mean, I'm gonna read out loud the questions if questions come in. No problem
Cool.
there.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. So we got Matthew Sanchez. Matthew is from London. He is also a part owner of a vinyl collection business, which is really crazy. He has
Ooh.
thousands
Oh, amazing.
of vinyl. Yeah, it's really crazy. Matthew,
Well,
how
he
many do you
doesn't
have?
that one yet.
Yeah, true, Matthew. You need Major Moments one. You got a vinyl copy? That would be amazing.
Right there.
Yeah, perfect. Look at this one. Perfect. Dude. All right, so we can actually just start, and then people will come in more and more. That's good. All right, here we
Yeah,
go.
sounds
Barry's
good.
also. Barry from California is in the house. Perfect. So today we're here with Major Moment, and many of you knew the band from before because they came to the channel, I think 2 weeks ago it was, right? More or less.
Well, we came
The-
several times, but the last one was
Yeah.
about 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks ago, one of them, and I was really impressed because we had so many. Nowadays it's everybody has a chance to be heard when it comes to musical outlets. However, not everybody has a good productivity level or whatever it is, not good quality. When I heard your song the first time, and I texted you and I told you, I was like, man, this is really good. From the storyline to the video to the structure to the sound. That was so amazing. And then you told me that you are based in I think it was even Boston, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Correct.
But some of you are not originally from there. I think you moved there.
Neither of us are.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Both vocalists,
Let
both
us know.
vocalists are originally from Russia.
Wow. I didn't know this.
So-
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
It means we're trying
Blending in.
we're blending in. Right. Exactly.
That's how it should be.
No, it's it's been a journey for sure.
Yeah.
But I think it's it helped us a lot being from another country, like broaden our perspective, and we work super hard like to achieve whatever we achieved so far, to make the music we make and like to make the music videos we try to make.
Yeah.
We understand we have to compete like with the best of the best, right? And
Yeah.
us coming from another country, I guess like we only want to work that much more harder,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like because we understand that we don't even belong here, right? Like we don't belong in the industry. We
Yeah.
don't belong in this country. It's all an accident.
Oh, but we're here to prove that we do belong.
Oh, that's fair, right?
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, because
No, I'm just kidding, right? Because like other artists have successfully accomplished much bigger things, like like on the heavier side, like Slaughter to Prevail, for example. Who Alex is actually from the same region that I'm from as well.
really.
Although we don't know each other, but we have some mutual friends. And before that there were artists like Tattoo, like on the pop side of things that are
Mhm.
they're very famous.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get we're trying to make some noise. Let's put it
Yeah.
that way.
We have so many fans from Russia. It's crazy because when we started doing some reviews regarding Diana Kuninova, which she has an incredible voice, young performer from Russia, many people came, and then of course then they told me about even Russian metal bands, and of course also, I mean, Tattoo. I remember exactly growing up, and that song came. I think it was called All the Things She Said or something, right? That was the
That's
You
name.
got
right.
it. You got
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Oh my God, how famous that was! Incredible. I've actually seen them a
Right.
couple months ago. They were performing again. I think like an anniversary thing at the concert.
They were. It's not exactly the same,
That's the same
unfortunately.
anymore.
You know,
Nothing is the
nothing
same
is the same
anymore.
anymore. Right.
Yeah, they also looked a bit different. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I'm
That's
getting
true.
to as well. You know, it's and their political views are kind of interesting as well, to put it the least offensive.
Let's keep it positive.
Let's keep it positive. You know, there are up and coming bands that hopefully one of them is going to take their place as well. But when they were on the peak of their success, even before they were world famous, like we were very proud of what they were doing. We thought, like I personally thought that finally there's like a Russian artist that is like able to compete with like world famous artists out there,
Yep.
and not just because it was like a gimmick and whatnot, right? Not because they were trying to like add some shock value or whatnot, right? But also the production quality of the music was good. And I think it was even inspiring for us, like being that we call ourselves like our micro genre that we're in pop metal,
Yeah.
right? So we take some inspiration from heavier bands and heavier genres, right? And like also from pop music as well. And like
Yeah.
Tattoo is definitely like up there for us. Like
Mm-hmm.
their production
Yeah.
rocks.
Yep.
Mind you, they only worked with like some of the famous producers
In
Right.
the industry.
in the industry, right? Like they recorded abroad as well and whatnot. But they all started like they started just with the Russian market. I guess that was the original plan for them.
Yeah. You know what? It's interesting you mentioned that with the pop aspect of your songs, because I realized that when with the first song, I was like, man, this is interesting. When after the second transition, that pop bridge almost came, and everybody in the chat was like, oh, this is very interesting. Who had the idea to incorporate pop elements? Was it like a thing that everybody at the table were like okay with, or was it an idea from just one person?
All the record executives, right, at the table.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody was like, let's go.
No, it's
No, not exactly.
it's just our influences, and we come from different culture. We're listening to different stuff, but more on a like coming from pop side. And one of my favorite bands is Backstreet Boys. With all the harmonies and stuff. I love them, and so like it slowly with Linkin Park,
Yeah.
it slowly went into more of a rock world, and I stayed there.
But if you think about it, like Linkin Park also had that pop element to
Yeah,
their
they
music
totally
as well,
did,
right?
and that's why the transition was that smooth.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't even kind of plan for that at all. Like we like our first EP that we released called One Small Step. It had less of like metal influence and more like an alternative rock influence, but it did have the pop element to it as well. And then we kind of slowly, transitioned because people were asking us, "Oh, like, are you gonna do like
More screens.
more screens? Add more screens? Are you gonna do some breakdowns?" And we're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well, we might play with that. Like, I guess, why not?" But it all has to be like in moderation. Like we don't want to become a full pop band, or we don't want to become a full like black metal band, right? Like not that those are like bad things or anything, right? But it's just not our thing. Our thing is like, our taste is just have a little bit of everything, blend it together and see if we can make it work, But we're still in progress of like figuring out, what we sound like, and
Well, you sound pretty good, by the way, number one, and I think you figured it out. Yeah, when it comes to music, it's art. So once it's sincere from the artist or from the band, then normally you like it because it's real. So if it feels forced, like you want to be heavy just to please the heavy side, people realize, okay, like this is not really what they would like to do.
For sure.
I actually don't know if I agree with that.
I think I agree with that.
You think you agree with that? So my perspective is that I sometimes noticed artists that are trying a little too hard to fit into a certain like bracket, into a certain genre, and they like trying to sound like a little bit too much like Bad Omens or like Bring Me the Horizon, you know,
Yeah, exactly.
and bands like that. And although like we love those bands as well, right? And like we like get inspired by them, but I don't think we sound anything like them.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, maybe a little bit, but like some bands, they're like trying to, I guess, like approach it from the you know formula of success kind of perspective, right? Like and try to imitate it.
Yeah.
Don't know if it works for them, but if it does, good for them. Like if that's what maybe that's what they like anyway, right?
Yeah.
Who knows? But like for me, just you know, if I felt like we sound just way too much like such and such, like I would want to, you know, get away from that probably.
Well, it even comes in while we're writing a song at this point.
Right.
I'm already like thinking, does it remind me of something? Have I heard that somewhere else? Like, if it does, then definitely we're just going different directions.
Yeah, we're just gonna scratch that and like
which is really hard to do, by the way.
It is, yeah, for sure.
Well, that's awesome. That's definitely interesting that you do it like that, because I know many bands automatically normally it comes out because we grew up, you know, with bands that we like. We grew up with certain styles, certain songs. So normally it's just there in the back of our heads, you know. It comes
right.
out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. It does. No, I guess like it's easier for our listeners to pick up like, and sometimes we get like comparisons that we wouldn't even think of.
Yeah.
Like sometimes like people would compare my vocals to the lead singer of the Offspring.
Yeah.
And I don't hear it, but I love the Offspring. Like I've listened to them when I was growing up, right?
Yeah.
In my teenage years, and like, you know, if it works, it works, I guess. I'll take it as a compliment, you know, like this guy can hit some crazy high notes. So.
Definitely. Yeah, man, Offspring. I actually, funny enough, I listened to a song yesterday from them. Of course, it was la 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 la, and everybody was going crazy.
Not my favorite song of theirs, but yeah.
Yeah. What is your favorite song when it comes to the Offspring?
By the Offspring?
Yeah.
Well, so I grew up listening to Offspring, and also listening to Offspring as part of the video game soundtrack I was playing. So they were big in the Crazy Taxi game that I played on on Dreamcast. So No Breaks is a good one. You know, I
Million Miles Away for me.
Million Miles Away.
Oh, nice one. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. I think you're probably similar to my age, right? If I may ask.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
30 something.
Without calling us old.
No, I think we're all now in our 30s. I think. Okay.
Yeah.
We got some questions, by the way, here, and some statements from Matthew.
Oh, awesome.
He was saying something. He was saying, I feel...
Hey, everybody, by the way.
Yeah. Everybody say hello to Major Moment.
Hello. Thank you for watching.
So, Matthew says, I feel the pop sensibilities in their music show some great songwriting abilities. Yeah, I agree. Good hooks and great mood changes. Then he says, The Kid Aren't Alright, great song by The Offspring. Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah. Kids Aren't Alright, yeah. Yeah, but it's actually very difficult to write a pop song, a good pop song, you know. It's, you know, we're, like, by no means I'm trying to claim that we ever wrote a good pop song, but I guess that's the goal for us. But if you think about it, you know, people kind of discard pop songwriting as like something bad, you know, but if you think about it, like to be able to create something that so many people can relate to,
exactly,
it's powerful, right? Pun intended. You know, we're here on Powerful Reactions. I think it's like the best compliment. The other day I was on the X, right, and I came across a tweet from another band we know called It's Not For Me, and they were telling the tweet was something about like how somebody tried to diss their music as like just a boy band with breakdowns. I'm like, dude, that's like best compliment
I know,
you ever get.
So good.
You know, like if you're making that impression, like keep going with it. You know, just roll with it.
We've heard that before ourselves. Like when we say that we're a pop metal band, everyone's like, "Wow, this is like so bold of you to say that you're like pop," and we're like, "Yes."
We kind of,
good.
I think we kind of embraced it by this point. I don't know who came up first with the definition. It might have been.
We've seen it talking about Bring Me the Horizon. someone mentioned that
Maybe,
they're like
right.
pop metal.
Maybe.
And we're like, pop metal? That sounds
That
like
sounds that sounds
really
more like us,
close
you
to
know.
what we
Right.
do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the problem about that is the metal scene normally is not really open for different styles. You know, they're
Yeah.
very,
It's okay.
very afraid, very afraid. You know, for example,
It's
there's
okay.
I have a funny story. This is 2004.
Fragile masculinity, it's called. Yeah.
Definitely, that's exactly what it is. 2004, I went to see Metallica live. That was a very cool tour. I was 17, and Slipknot was opening for Metallica back then
Wow.
because they just
Nice.
came with the third record, so the Versus. And I remember that when, because I was really close to the stage when Slipknot was about to perform, that the old timer, you know, typical metalhead fans that were only there for Metallica, they turned their backs to the stage and put the middle finger,
Oh
put
my
the
God.
middle fingers up to Slipknot the whole show. And I was thinking back then, like, what the f is this? You know, it's so embarrassing. You know, these guys were like 45. What's wrong with
That was in Germany?
that? Was in Germany, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, it's actually, you know, in a way that's a viral moment as well.
True.
You know, like,
Good content.
it's okay, you know, like once you get over this, you know, initial impression of like people disliking you, you're opening for Metallica.
Exactly,
So-
right?
So who cares, right?
Yeah.
And B, like you still have a chance to change some of those people's minds, you know. So, and
Yeah.
you know, with a band like Slipknot, you know, I wouldn't expect that kind of reaction. It's kind of interesting. Like they're much heavier than Metallica.
Like
Yeah.
in The Voice, someone's gonna be turning.
Right, right, exactly. It's like the show The Voice, right? Somebody's gonna turn in their seat and like smash the button, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is 20.
That's
by the way,
funny.
this is exactly 20 years ago. Unbelievable. Exactly 20 years ago in June. Nowadays, of course, Slipknot is so big. They actually came back yesterday with a secret show in the desert.
Right. And
Really
they
amazing.
played 200-300 people, right? Amazing.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I love when people when bands do some stuff like that. You know.
Yep.
How did that club manage to fit 9 people on stage? That's what I want. That's what I
Yeah.
want to know.
This is so crazy. You know what? I had that thought so many times when I went to venues. I was like, I imagine them being here. How is it working? You know, like 9 people. I thought about that.
No,
It's tough.
we're still trying to
It's
figure out with
exactly.
6 of us being on stage. It's still tough.
Dude, for sure. Yeah, so I understand
know-
what you say. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
When we're talking about Germany and shows, that brings up a very, very good memory. Probably one of the best shows that I've seen, and that's Coldplay.
Really?
It was in Munich, in Allianz Arena,
of course.
and it was amazing. It was just
Wow.
mind blowing. So good.
Allianz
So
Arena.
talking about the pop influences, you know, when Coldplay was on top, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
was great.
You know, I think as humans, sometimes we are afraid of the things that we don't understand or we don't want to let close to us. So that's
All the
sometimes-
time.
All the time. That
All the
explains
time.
it. Yeah. We got
All
some
the
more
problems
comments.
just kind of come from that. You know?
Of course. War, everything.
And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Racism,
yeah, exactly.
everything.
yeah.
We
Yeah.
got some more things here coming in. Okay, here we go. What's up there? All in Ozan, what's up there? We got a subscriber from Japan. Hello, obrigado. Okay, and now here we go. Oethra Trading is saying, I like their studio. Okay, yeah, the studio looks good in the back, right?
That's not even a studio.
Yeah.
That's our home
That's our home studio.
studio, right?
A
That's
home
not.
studio.
Well, we call it home studio. It's a computer. It's a very inexpensive interface, audio interface. There are just 2 monitors. We don't have like any super expensive pieces of gear here. You know, we have a couple of good synths. That's about it.
Since?
But like this setup is enough to make demos.
Yeah.
Make without like leaving the house.
Yeah, for sure.
Having a home studio would be obviously nice, but like we don't have the budget to like make it into like a whole actual studio. Yeah.
You know, you would be surprised how less is required nowadays to produce a song.
Yeah.
We have many
Yeah.
people coming in,
100%.
even on the phone sometimes. I'm shocked,
Yeah.
especially like rap and hip
Yeah.
hop. It's crazy,
Yeah.
It
All right,
is
here we go.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, we got more. Oethra Trading says, especially the dual screen and MIDI key setup. I use Pro Tools to write pop songs. Oh, Oethra Trading, I didn't know you were also a songwriter. That's nice. I wonder what program they use to record music. Yeah, that's a good question.
Logic for us.
Logic.
Yeah. but the funny thing is we bump heads with our music producer that works with us because he's an avid Pro Tools user
Yeah.
and we're Logic users, so we always will have to like kind of export our sessions in wave forms, right? You know,
It's okay. We found a way to work it
to
out.
make it work,
It's
right?
fine.
If we use Pro Tools, obviously it would be much easier. But like what I like about Logic is that it comes with so many instruments, you know, pre-installed, like a very good synth.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, I can just create a demo idea like from scratch in like 10 minutes, you know, with all the instruments that I can hear in my head, like basically at my fingertips. Versus like with Pro Tools, you would have to like install all the other like third-party plugins like for synths. Like
For
we
sure.
also have those, but like I just like, you know, Logic. If outside of of this setup, right? Like even if I have it on the laptop, you know, and like we're flying somewhere, you know, like I could just open the laptop and like build an idea in flight, you know,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
great.
Of course, very
You
convenient.
know,
By the way, I never
very
asked
convenient,
you,
right?
when did you actually start and who had the idea to start the band?
So it's a long it's a not a long story, but it definitely you know has a quite a background to it, right? So when I moved to the States back in 2006, I already moved here with an idea that, you know, I would like to pursue music as a career at some point. You know, I would like to make music, and like me and my friend we started making some demos together, right? Like again, in a you know in the bedroom.
Yeah.
But things kind of got you know a little bit sidetracked. You know, you have to establish yourself like as a you know as an immigrant in the
But
country.
this is
You
crazy.
know, you
Like
have to.
you moved to a different country without any like knowledge of
No,
what's coming. No friends, no nothing. So
no,
it's like just
no.
go
It's
there.
okay.
I want to just go out and work many
I was
jobs. So
stupid
that's
or
crazy.
brave like that. You can use whichever you know whichever term you like better.
Yes.
I guess it has a little bit of both, but you know yeah, and like we had to find like you know obviously you have to have a job and then you have to have a second job, and then you know I try to like pursue other things in life that you know are more on the business side of things.
Yeah.
And then at some point I realized like, well, the actual reason why I came here, you know, was to make music. You know,
Yeah.
like what am I doing? Like actually wasting my time not making music, right? So we decided to stop doing what I was doing and like focus on making music and you know just say screw everything. You know, I'll give it all I have, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and if it works, great. So we're still I still wake up with this thought every day, and I'm still trying to give it, you know, all my best and see if it works. Um, yeah, but I guess the story of Major Moment began in 2017, so that's a long, what, 12 years or more than 10 years? Yeah,
After,
more than 10 years after I came and to the States, right? So well, I started looking on Craigslist and I found the band that was looking for, you know, vocalists. So I auditioned for them.
Old style,
Um,
nice.
yeah, old style, and there were older gentlemen as well. And I said, so it's all great, but like I want to pursue it like on the serious level. And then they all said, yeah, of course, we were so in. But after the first show, they said, we don't have it. Sorry.
Really?
Like you want too much of us. Like we cannot do like social media. We cannot do any of that
Yeah.
stuff. Like
Yeah.
you know, I don't know how to like use Logic and whatnot. Like I want to.
And then we're not gonna go into the studio. Why not just record it in our basement? Look
Right.
at that.
I'm like no,
we can make it
not
work.
exactly,
No.
not exactly what we're trying to accomplish here. And they said, well, then we're out. And
Yeah.
so the search began for other people to join us.
That's a problem, you know, even in business, it's always hard to find like-minded people. And if it
Definitely.
doesn't work out from the beginning, I also 2006 was my first band, and I remember exactly similar situation. We had everybody was good. Like my best friends was, I mean, one of the guitar player, the bassist, everything was good. We had two guitar players. The drummer we didn't know, so the drummer joined us, and exactly the same thing. He was not like us. He didn't have the energy. He didn't have the imagination or even the dream and expectation of how we should be live,
Right.
almost how we should perform. And even when we're like talking in musical terms, for example, I was saying, do din 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 drn, drn, as a double bass, right? He's like, huh?
Yeah.
It just kept going on. And I was like, this is not working out. So I totally understand you. Right away, you realized, yeah, this is not going correct.
Yeah. But no matter what, we kept pushing, and we still, I think that's going to be the way it's going to be. No matter what happens, like no matter the obstacles, we're just going to keep pushing. A lot of people came and went after them.
We even wrote a song about that.
Yeah, we had a couple actually. So some of them were very successful. So maybe that. So it's a double win. First the people who didn't fit left, and then we actually ended up with a good song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like the two of us, we kind of have a dream. And we try to like inspire other band members. So hopefully the current band members that are in our band, they're getting the inspiration from us, and they're gonna try to achieve.
They're definitely far more involved
Yeah,
in the
100%,
process than
100%,
anyone
yeah.
else before, so that's a good sign. So
Yeah.
it's gonna keep it this.
Right.
We're gonna keep it this way.
But our goal is to take Major Moment to the next level right now. Because we already achieved a little bit of success. Now, obviously, we can't stop there. Now that we have a proven concept, right?
Definitely.
That people like our stuff, that we're actually onto something, that we can write a decent song. Now we have to write a great song. Now we have to, inspire millions.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, once you open that can, you need to definitely take advantage of it. Right now, you're on a streak. I mean, this is awesome. I actually think we can even play some of your songs while we're streaming. We can listen to this one together. Maybe even watch the video. There should not be a problem. I'm gonna share the stream. We have more questions.
You should play The Flood.
The Flood?
The music video for The Flood. Yeah.
Yeah. By the way,
Because you haven't seen it yet, I think.
okay, let's do that definitely. And I have a question regarding the music videos. Who comes up with those concepts? So good, the production.
We do actually.
Yes.
Yeah, really? Okay.
All it takes is a nice drink, and then a little bit of imagination, and then we just sit down and listen to the song, and we try to come up with something that we haven't seen many times before.
Yeah.
That can be somewhat done on the technical level.
So like it's scaling down from the idea that you originally have. Because like when the first idea comes to mind, you're like,
we cannot have Vin Diesel and
$80,000.
Leonardo DiCaprio in our music videos. I'm sorry, that's out of the question.
That would be amazing. That would be great.
Right.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, but we kind of approach it from like perspective of music videos are kind of a dying breed, so to speak, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And people started to like invest less in them and less energy, less money into them. For us, like we grew up in times of MTV, right? So you can definitely relate to that. And like we watched music videos and we liked some of our artists and their vision in the music videos. It kind of was playing as an addition to to the song, right? It's
just like extension of the meaning of the song.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what we're trying to do as well. Like we're trying to present like a different angle to the story. Like story is super important for us. Like I know music videos kind of became more of like performance thing. Performances are good, and we have a couple of music videos that are performance based. But I think like that there should be some kind of a story behind that performance as well.
Yeah.
Like what are you creating? Like our first performance video we have for Dead. That's the first time we ever played the song live. It's shot in one take in an actual performance in a room with people. So that's why we decided to release it like that. That's the first time we ever played the song.
Yeah.
It's in a live room scenario, right?
Yeah.
the music video we're working on right now, it's also performance based, but it's going to be our first music video that we shot and edited fully ourselves. You
Wow.
know, because usually we hire somebody, we hire a cinematographer who also edits the video, like with our guidance and
Yeah.
whatnot. But still, there are other people involved. This one we decided like we're gonna try to do something ourselves
Yeah.
for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Like fully ourselves.
Yeah.
So I like the the a little bit of a story behind everything. Like you have to have a meaning behind
Yeah.
what you're doing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, you do it the right way because when we have a stream, we normally listen and watch 60 videos per stream, so it's a lot.
Right.
And you're stuck out right away. I was like, man, this is a very good video. I even said it. And what you were saying is so true. Nowadays, what we also realize is people are so lazy. They just release like lyric videos or performance videos. Done. Nobody wants to put
Well,
something in.
Right. Speaking of
A good
lyric
video
videos,
also
right?
takes a lot of effort, and we do have a lyric video for every single song that we have
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
that's
not just
also important.
not just a black screen with the lyrics. At least there's something going on, right? Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Oh yes,
And
definitely.
whenever you have time, if you want to explore those,
Yeah.
whether as a part of the channel or outside of it, right? Like you will notice that it's the same trend. There's definitely like a concept, a story going on even in the lyric video. But if we have an ability to,
Yeah.
shoot a music video in addition to it, we always try to do it. But
Yeah.
it takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of money too.
You know what? Let's do it right now. I'm gonna head over right now to YouTube here, share my screen. So now we have you as well. And let's see if we can do this. You said the flood, right? We're gonna play
Yeah.
first. All right, let's go. And we got more questions. Ozan says, this is so true regarding the video concept. Yeah, people agree completely with you.
Nice.
Performances. And you know what I also realized? People, but that's actually pretty good. But what is very popular is one take vocal takes or whatever.
Yeah.
Like one.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is awesome. It's a cool approach.
It is. Yeah.
We have
For sure.
like an edition of the Flood music video. We have
Yeah.
a reimagined version of the Flood as well, and we shot a music video with one take also. And
With one
we
take. Right.
emerged in the really cold water,
Yeah. Mhm.
black water. Yeah,
Right.
so
Black
That was
water.
cool.
Okay.
Don't spoil everything. Don't spoil everything. Right.
All right,
Let's
all
watch
right.
the video.
So there we go. We're gonna go over to the flood major moment, and you released this one year ago, I think, right? 1.5 years ago. It says.
No, it's actually been a few years, right? Or maybe 2 years or something.
that time
Okay.
flies. I don't. I
No,
lost
it's
track.
more than that. We released it in 2020, actually.
Ah, okay. Let's
So,
see if
yeah.
I can show you that one. Share your screen, definitely.
That's the official music video. That's the one.
All right. So where is it? YouTube. Bam. So now we would like for you also to be able to see it. Can you see the screen? Yeah, right?
Yeah, that should be it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, we
Right.
released it on Vivo a year ago. Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, everybody, we're gonna head
Yeah.
over now. We're gonna play this song. The band is with us. If you have questions, let us know. Major moment, the flood. Okay, I just realized that I need to mute you for a second because otherwise we're gonna hear your audio as well. I just realized.
Okay.
I think that's it. Let me see.
Wish the better days. Say we leave the same dumb lies repeating. What a life to waste. In the dissonance of people screaming.
That was nice already. Good transition.
Did we miss the sign? How could we ignore premonitions? Faulty by design. It's implied we're faultless, but our ambitions are vicious. We're going to lose it all. Don't let us trade our words for what is trending. Why are we so condescending? After and in a world so cold and so demanding, there can be no happy ending.
Here we go. Bridge.
It's in my hand. It's something I can't stand. Tell me, how dare we treat everyone with disrespect? Why do we assume without a doubt we're the ones this planet spins around? It goes without saying the levees are breaking. Forever will be what cannot be.
Yeah, this is an awesome music video. Love it. That was Major Moment the Flood. What a production. Yeah, Major Moment Losing Battles. That was also an amazing song. We played that one, it says here. Alright, I think I'm going to be able now to unmute you as well. Alright, everybody. That was awesome.
That was
Yay.
it.
Yeah, that was really good. I like this one.
It's
What a
been,
surprise.
it's been a while since the last time we watched it. Been a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, but
Great.
still holds up. Kind
Still
of.
good.
Still good. Okay. All right.
Definitely, definitely. We got some questions coming in here all the way from Miami. All right, perfect.
Awesome.
I notice your accent, but it says you're from Boston, Mimi says. Yeah, from Russian descent.
Russian accent. Yeah, originally from Russia, but moved to Boston years ago.
Yep.
So that's where we're based.
Dang it. Got it. They got us.
No, it's much easier to hide it.
Well singing. Yeah.
It's much easier to hide it while singing. Yeah, for sure.
True.
Yeah.
You know, it's interesting because, again, we have so many Russians here. I know so many Russian words. Some of them I cannot say out loud now. Definitely not.
Of course.
We do it off camera, later. But of course, давай, you know, like it's
Давай.
yeah.
That's a good one. Yeah, we should use it more with the inside of the band, like
That's
to
actually
inspire everybody.
One of the 2 songs that we translated to Russian so far.
Oh, the
I
Flood.
think
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
Wow.
It turned out really, really good.
Yeah, we do have a Russian version of that song as well. So that's cool.
And of course, this was only you, not both vocalists. Only you singing. What a decision. Yeah.
No.
You didn't
No.
wanna. No? You also singing?
No. I'm also singing. Yeah.
No. In
Well,
that
I'm-
song?
Yeah,
the
but
Flood.
I'm singing backups, backing vocals.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's a blend. Yeah, we
Yeah.
both sing in every single song,
Oh, okay.
which is interesting, right? But sometimes like I take them away
videos of like when we're breaking down the harmonies in
The
a song
vocal layers, yeah.
in our social media. So go follow us over there.
Beautiful.
Yeah, right.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That was
you,
awesome.
you know,
That's
it,
great.
it it also kind of happened spontaneously, right? Like we didn't plan like that for it like this, but people started giving us compliments as far as like how our voices sounded well
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
So we're like, okay, well, there you go, there you go. Then we're gonna spoil every song with both of our voices.
I'm shocked now. I really am shocked. That was unbelievable good, both of your voices. That's also very unique to find, two people that blend that well in. Awesome.
Yeah, it does.
There's actually 3-point harmony over there.
There is,
Wow.
right, definitely. So there's also like a third harmony there. Yeah, yeah, that's one of the songs that are fun to play live, and like if it works great, and people
Yeah.
people are into it. Um, Speaking of which, we're looking forward to playing it live in a couple of months.
Yep.
Playing a festival called Capulet Fest. It's in Connecticut, so it's definitely gonna be in the set list. One of our favorite songs.
Do you know the Russian band? I think their name was Amatory. You remember Amatory?
Yeah, of
course.
course.
Oh
Yeah, yeah,
man, such a good band. Their energy was amazing when it comes to live performances. So cool.
Right.
Right.
When we were promoting our music to like Russian fans, they would sometimes compare us.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. There's got to be something there, right? But
Definitely.
we definitely know them. Yeah.
We got more questions coming in here. Somebody says, that's a big sound production-wise. Where do you take your production influences from?
That's great.
That's
We've
a
worked
great
with a
question.
very good producer. It's up in Maine. His name is Kevin Billingsley, and it's been a long road finding a good producer to work with, and we just connected right away with Kevin. It was very easy, and Andre and Kevin exchanged like 76 emails even before we stepped into the studio. So like
True.
he was saying that he feels very good about like our sound, and he knows what to do, how to take it to the next level, and it was
Yeah.
just very easy.
He didn't
to work
disappoint, and like
Yeah.
I felt like that would like so Kevin is the guy that we worked with for the past 6 years, basically
Yeah.
since the beginning, since our first record. Everything is produced by him, and like
Yeah.
lately I've been also stepping up, like co-producing some of our later material as well.
Yep.
But I felt like, in that conversation with him over like 75 emails before we even paid him $1, I really felt like he's super invested, but not for the monetary reason. He just likes, music. He likes what he's
Yeah.
doing, and like
Yeah.
he wants to see
For the idea,
us,
the art.
kind of get it to the next level, and to the kind of expand it to the full potential, basically. Show our potential. Yeah.
It's working good so
It's
far.
working good so far, and I think we're surprising with our new ideas, and like I think he's proud of us as well, like of whatever we accomplished. But we're super happy that and everybody who's a musician on the channel, if you're watching this, it's super important to find a producer who shares your vision, who doesn't always disagree with you, but sometimes whenever there's an opportunity, a lot of people would just not say anything. Like if it could be done better, maybe some people would just be quiet because they're at the end of the day they're getting the
They're still getting
paycheck.
paid.
So,
Yeah, of course.
right, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So why spend somebody's time and money, right? But Kevin is not like that. Kevin is gonna torture us in front of the microphone for literal 8-10 hours straight. He's gonna be like, nope, one more take. Nope, you can do it. You can
Nope,
do you can do
try
that. No,
tomorrow.
you can do that. Come back tomorrow, do it again. He's not gonna take like a subpar take, or if he does, then the next day he's gonna be like, nope, let's actually redo it.
But then that he means it. It's like back in the
Yeah,
day.
100%. Yeah.
Ross Robinson. You remember Ross Robinson? Very good producer. He was doing the first Limp Bizkit, Soulfly, Korn, Slipknot. He was,
Right.
and I always kept saying this to young artists when they asked me for advice. I said, use a producer that almost feels like an additional band member. Then you know then you know they really want to do this, not because you said just like okay, I'm gonna get paid, whatever, Like they need to be emotionally. But by the way, you see it right away. Like you did 6 emails, and then probably you realize, okay, like this guy is he's a good match. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Like we were sharing like our influences and talking about different bands and different inspirations. And he's like, so like, which albums do you like? Like, which sound of which albums do you like? Like, what direction do you think you're going for? And like, as far as the sound, like, what would you like your record to sound like? So I told him that I like Papa Roach and Red Hot Chili Peppers.
And he was like, huh?
And I still remember. And so he's like, yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with that because like they're great, but it's drastically different sound, like completely different. There's nothing in common there. Like very good, but like let's find something that we can actually that actually could be helpful to us.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, but I remember that.
What about mastering? Do you do mastering also with him, or do you do it yourself, or you don't do any mastering after the
So
production?
we followed his advice. You know, we had a couple of records mastered by Adam Ayan, who's also up in Portland, Maine, and like he's like also world famous, right? And this latest record we actually took to Ted Jensen, who mastered like everybody from like Paramore, Bring Me the Horizon, like you know. So he did an amazing job with that as well. Because Adam is I guess not that much of a like metal guy as Ted is, like metal oriented as Ted Jensen is, right? So you know, we decided like let's try to you know to do it with Ted, not because we didn't like mastering from Adam.
Well,
I think
this album was just a little bit heavier than anything that we've done before, so we thought that it could use some
a little bit of an extra oomph to it, right?
Yeah, perfect. Perfect, done. All right, here we go. We got more coming in. Matthew Sanchez says, you can really hear that it's a relationship that works super well. I think he means the relationship with you and the producer. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our relationship is also working really well.
Yeah,
that's true.
We've been happily married, by the way. For anybody who doesn't know the fun fact about Major Moment, we've been married for how many years? Long time.
Long years.
Long years.
65 years. 65 years. There you go.
65 years, right?
That doesn't sound right.
You got it. Yeah.
But did you meet in the United States or in Russia? United States.
We did meet in the United States.
When I was traveling for the first time in the US.
And then Andre came. What's up? Like this, right?
Exactly like that. Yeah.
No, we met through our mutual friend who Andre knew online. They also never met before, and I came over with him to the United States to visit Boston and all the East Coast. We had a cool trip around, and I met Andre.
Right, and then the thing is, like this guy, he was like a founder of like a Russian-speaking Linkin Park fan club. So you know, back in the day when forums were a thing, you know, I was also like a member of that forum, and like Sasha was, but we didn't know each other. But that's the story that Linkin Park kind of
brought us together.
Yeah, brought us together in more ways than just one. You know, on the personal side and also musically inspiring us. So you know, we're super thankful to the guys and their inspirations and like you know.
Yeah. Linkin Park it's an interesting journey with them. I've seen them live 2017 and I think 2007 and then I think 2013. But do you remember when the first song came out One Step Closer? At the beginning, it was back then. It was interesting. I keep telling this to people that because that time it was Limp Bizkit, Papa Roach, Korn all over the place, and then that song came and it was good. It was successful. But Linkin Park became so much bigger later on. You know, they were not that big at the beginning. It was really hard for them at the beginning.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
That was a good time.
I unfortunately caught up with the Meteora, and when Numb came in, came out, that time, and a friend shared a song, Somewhere I Belong with Me, and I fell in love, and like, I'm
pretty sure I was a fan since like almost day one. So I was watching MTV. So either it was with One Step Closer or with Crawling. Definitely with Crawling. Like once Crawling came out, I was like, I gotta find the record.
Yep.
I don't know if it's out or not. So I went shopping. You know, like I liked it instantly. And I also have to emphasize the importance of the music video because the music video was shot beautifully as well. It had an amazing. Amazing visual, like the blue hue to it,
Yeah.
like, and I still remember everything about it. Beautifully done video.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that time was so cool because our generation is the last one really having a piece of that nostalgic feel, just knowing, okay, the new record will be out, recording the music video on VHS when it comes again, or going to
Yeah, I've
going to
done
the
that.
record store. You remember? It was such a
Yeah, of course.
people cannot understand how amazing
Wild.
that was. Yeah, it was so cool.
Right.
True.
Well, because once that moment is gone, like there's no rewind button, right? Unless you record it on something, right?
Yeah.
You can't just tell the
Rewatch.
TV like, oh, I want to watch it again. You can't
Yeah.
just click the repeat on the YouTube like we do now, right? You had
Mm-hmm.
to wait for like few more hours until they would show it again.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe,
Yeah, exactly,
right.
exactly. Maybe that's true. By the way, I remember Korn Here to Stay. That video was so insane, and people were like, "Oh man, maybe it's gonna come later." We were waiting the whole day.
Right.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
It's a really good time.
Yeah.
The music industry changed definitely, of course, with COVID. And then after COVID, a lot of musicians, because we had on the podcast Lacuna Coil, Cannibal Corpse, Whitechapel, we had many people there. And one thing they all agreed with me, it's that now people release way more singles than it used to be the case back in the day. Because you had
Yeah,
like 1, 2
sure.
singles, record, maybe a third one, done. And because
Yeah.
everything is being digested so fast nowadays. TikTok, YouTube is doing the short format videos because everything is fast, fast, next. So I think the system behind it, the idea behind it, makes sense to to release every 3 months a new song and just be relevant the whole time. Because otherwise, it's
Yeah.
too fast. Do you agree on that?
Oh,
Definitely.
For sure.
Don't know if I like it, but we agree. Yeah. I mean,
Well, like it or not, this is the way it is.
Right,
now,
exactly,
and
right.
You better keep up with that, otherwise you're gonna stay on the side.
stay out of the game,
Yeah.
right? Because back in the day, like I would always be sad, like when the new record would come out, right? And you listen to it for months and months and months, but
Yeah.
at some point, like you get
Yeah.
tired of it, right? So you're like,
Yeah.
oh, what's next? Well, next you have to wait like for 3 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's what happens, right? So I guess there's, from the consumer perspective, from the listener perspective, there are benefits to that. Like, you listen to the same song for a few weeks, right? And then, okay, so what's next? Re-listen to the old stuff, what's next? And then the thing,
Yeah.
band releases another song. Like, you don't have to wait for 3 years, right?
Yes.
So, that's probably a good thing. But the bad thing is that, like you kind of feel forced sometimes that, the time is ticking and it's time for you to release another single, right? I was just thinking about this today in the morning that, we don't have a single scheduled. We have singles ready, but we don't have a single scheduled for the release next. But
Yeah.
I'm going to go and do that after we're done with the interview to keep the momentum going and, of course,
For
to
sure.
feed the algorithm gods and
Yeah.
all the listeners, keep all listeners happy, right?
We should let me know.
But
I
it's
will, I will
also
share.
Yeah, every single is an opportunity also to find new audience and
True.
join listeners. So you got to use the advantage of that. Although, like we just posted this question, who still loves albums via singles?
Right.
A lot of people actually said that they love albums, but they don't really have time to listen to them. So that kind of proves the point,
Right. I promise you, like, even though people say, like, oh, I love albums, right? But, like, do you actually want to wait for 3 years until the next one?
Oh no, I love albums and I want it now.
Yeah, exactly. I want it now, and I want it every week.
Every week.
I want a new album every week, and I
Every
don't want to
week.
pay for it. I want to pay $9.99 per month. That's all.
Ouch,
For
ouch.
all the music in the world.
You know who was? It was actually really disappointing to me with one particular band because we waited 16 or 13 years. 13. Tool. When Tool finally released the record, everyone was like, after 1 week, yeah, okay. Like 13 years, like, wow, they're gonna release something, and then you have one single,
Right.
the record is there, and everybody's like, okay, next, and done.
Well, at least
Yeah.
the songs are 14 minutes long.
Yeah,
that's true.
exactly.
It
That's
was
that. The album is like an hour and a half. Yeah.
That's true. That's true. It's actually the first record they released was really good. I think the record was called the first single of the latest record, Fear Inoculum. I liked it. It was,
Yeah. I remember. It also came out like I believe during COVID, right?
Yep.
Or like around that time. Yeah.
It was
A few years
interesting.
ago.
But now that means another 6-7 years waiting, 100%, like you said.
Yeah. But so the fun thing about the artists releasing singles and whatnot, like we decided to approach it from a different standpoint, right? So
Mm-hmm.
we had an album, 14 songs, and none of the songs were up on streaming yet, right? Like four were, right, or
Yeah.
three.
Yeah.
Three songs were
Three
up on
songs
streaming:
were.
The Flood, No Fear, and Dead.
Mm-hmm.
So we went ahead and printed some records, right, vinyl records, and we said, so guys, if you want to hear the full album right now, if you're an album guy and if you mean it, we want you to actually be able to sit down next to your record player and listen to it front to back, like no skips, no 30-second skip buttons,
Mm-hmm.
no, none of that. So if you want to support emerging artists and go listen to the full album, you can do it now. If you don't have money or
Mm-hmm.
whatever financial situation or means to support us, that's all fine. We're gonna release it all on streaming, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer while we do it like one song every 3 months.
Yeah.
And I think it worked out perfectly, for us. Like we have some people that we feel like, almost like an insiders club that already know the record, and they get hyped up for the next release because they're like, oh, I know the song. This song is
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So they're
Yeah.
hyping it up
Yeah.
for other people
Yeah.
who have a chance to listen to it yet. And then on top of that, to keep it interesting for them, we also have like lyric videos and music videos coming, so they will also see another side of the story. Like,
Yeah.
they already heard the song, so we don't want them to feel like, oh, I already heard it, I already seen it all. Like, no, you haven't seen it all.
Yeah.
You're also gonna be, seeing something new.
It's almost like a remake every time. It's very good. Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I think so, and that's what we're probably gonna have to keep doing as a smaller independent artist. That's the only way. And we spend so much time making this vinyl edition, like make sure it's the best quality, not the best quality we can afford, the best quality ever. Like,
Yeah.
we went and spent an insane amount of money making sure that this record is just like just as good as
quality.
like major label releases, right? And so we wanted our fans, like those who decide to pick it up, to spend their money on something they haven't even heard yet, right? We want them to be so satisfied and so happy with it that we went, I think, above and beyond, like printing it with
For vinyl, we have 6 different color variants, and we have beautiful etching design
Right.
on the side D.
It's
Mhm.
a gatefold. It's
Very-
it's packed with like lyrics and artwork. I
Also have CDs, by the way.
yeah, we do have CDs. We don't discriminate.
Yeah.
CDs are fine.
Vinyl
CDs are
vinyl
fine.
is new. CD is old. Right? Exactly. Yeah.
Right. CDs are fine too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think for vinyl it's a little more interesting. Like there's something to it. You put it,
Yeah.
on your record player.
Well,
Yeah.
in the CD, you have a booklet that you can browse through, and with all the lyrics and pictures and designs and
Maybe,
No.
but there's magic to it. There's magic to vinyl. Like, you can't deny it.
definitely. We had so many vinyl records even before we bought a record player, which is funny.
Yeah.
This is interesting with the vinyl. I remember the vinyl industry maybe 1.5 years ago, they were not even able to keep up with the demand in printing vinyls. It became so big
Yes.
again. This was really important. And I got a few questions coming in here regarding your acid green vinyl version of your album. It looks amazing.
Oh, amazing.
Matthew says. Do you have
Oh,
one
Oh,
there?
thank you so
you.
much.
Do you have one there somewhere
Thanks.
next to you? No, right, Andre?
We do have it. Like, I don't know, which variant do we have? Which variant do we
Well,
have?
let's find out.
Let's find out.
That would be
Sasha's
great.
gonna go and find out.
Here you go.
Don't trip on it.
I got it.
All right.
There you go.
It's gonna be a surprise. What do we have there? What's the color?
Okay. That's a glow in the dark.
It's a glow in the dark. We have a glow in the dark.
It looks
But that-
great.
Right. But just to show you, like, we have full gatefold. We have artwork here,
Nice.
lyrics on the back. So
Yeah.
really
very
wanted to
cool.
make everybody happy with it. But
We actually posted a video yesterday with all the color variants and like real life, so you can see it actually how it looks.
That's amazing.
Just go check out our Instagram or Facebook, whatever,
Yeah, make sure.
wherever you are.
We're gonna tag definitely and link all your socials for sure. We got so many questions now coming in. People are going crazy. Gamecock. Oh, what a name, Gamecock. I have not listened to Major Moment before. What song do I take first?
Okay, so I guess what would you say?
Toxic
Yeah, okay, so it has to be either Toxic or The Flood.
Okay.
or Flood. Yeah.
So there's two. They're very different songs, very different moods, but I think those like represent our style well. Yeah.
Perfect. Matthew Sanchez says, I love a band that takes time fussing over a quality vinyl release. Yes, details, definitely very detailed. Gamecock says, okay, thank you very much. Matthew says, very sexy looking vinyl. Yeah, that's awesome.
Thank you so much. But the thing for us, it's like, when you work under a label, maybe somebody else takes care of that, right? For us, it's like very small operation. It was just the two of us going through the catalog of like available colors and figuring out what color combinations could work for our themes for our album, and then getting in touch with the factory, getting in touch with the company, and like getting to work with Kevin Moore, who helped us out with the artwork and going through different revisions. Kevin is actually a very known guy in the industry. He did an artwork for Spirit Box, Of Mice and Men, Dance Gavin Dance, so huge bands, So for us to be able to work with him, it's an amazing experience. We're super thankful to him for even responding to our messages, because that.
I didn't expect, like, when I sent the message, it was like, well, whatever. Probably not gonna hear anything. And he replied,
"Here goes nothing." Right?
We talked on the phone, and he was very excited and listened to the music and said that like you're doing the right stuff, and I would like to help you guys.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Yeah, definitely. So
I think that means we should listen to more music right now. Which song should we put on? Toxic? What do you
let's
think?
put Toxic. Yeah, let's put Toxic.
Toxic.
Sure.
Let's go, everybody. We're going to play now Major Moment Toxic, and you can click on the links Matthew just shared. That's their social media and all the other, Instagram, I think, and social media links. All right, here we go. Major Moment Toxic. Let's play this one, and of course...
And I'm going to go and take the...
Acid green. Find the next acid green? Okay.
Yeah, that would be good.
On a mission to show off. Okay.
That would be great. All right, here we go. Toxic. Bum, 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 bum. And here we go. You can see it. Perfect. Everybody, here we go. This has a lot of views, by the way. 45,000. I think the biggest video from you, right?
No, the Flood has more, but it's
okay.
on our YouTube channel.
Ah, that's why. Okay, makes sense. Here we go. Beautiful. Oh, wow. Ha! Dear band. Major moment. This was outstanding.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
This was really good. Wow. Toxic. Catchy yet so good. You know, that's always the. I mean, if you create a song and it's too catchy, sometimes people get bored, but yours was good because you didn't repeat it that often. Sometimes people like to repeat a very catchy chorus too often, and then people get bored with this. That was great. A good song, a perfect workout song, Gamecock is saying. Yeah, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's true. Some people share actually videos from their gym.
Weightlifting, yeah. Definitely.
Weightlifting.
Yeah.
I should do this as well. I just came back 20 minutes ago, or before the stream, from the gym.
Hey,
Nice.
hopefully
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna get you inspired for the next one, right?
I will definitely share this. Yeah, I will definitely share that. That would be good. We
Let's
got more
go.
questions. More questions for you. After you have come up with a quick demo, how does the rest of the songwriting process work out? Do you flesh out the demo into a song, or go straight to the rest of the band with the demo to move forward?
Good question. I feel like our process changed over time. Before it was like Andre would create a demo, and then we straight up take it to the studio and then work with Kevin and collaborate there. Like on the lyrics side, usually lyrics come second for us. It's first the
process,
melodies and
as far as
the
process, but not as far as the
instrumentation.
importance, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then, but lately it's been a little bit different. We all collaborate on the demos at the demo stage, and I started a couple of demos as well for the last album
Yeah.
for a couple of songs, and the process changing every time. It just really depends on the song, what the song needs, and if we feel like the demo idea is already very good, then it's just ready to go. And sometimes it's more of a process, and it requires more time and more people to be involved before we take it to the studio.
Right. I feel like this question might be coming from somebody who's like either making music right now or is interested in like making music, right? So I guess the answer would be like there's no like recipe for it, right? There's
no right or wrong. Yeah.
No right or wrong, right? Do whatever works with you and your bandmates. You know, if they're invested in like songwriting side, that's one thing. But if they're just there to contribute their parts as far as instruments go, right? Instrument parts, that's fine as well. You kind of have to approach it, but for us, I think like the more complete demo we have made here in this room, right, the better it is of a song when we take it to the studio.
Of course,
because by then we have more time to explore different options, play around with different things that we didn't think about here, right? Whether as like if we take like a real raw demo, right, we spend most of the day trying to figure out like what actually is missing here, like what we need to
and I wanted to say before actually that we've been through everything. We've been through times when we bring a demo and it's perfect from like whatever it is, and just it's a matter of actually playing it for real and maybe like tweaking the drums and stuff. And we've been to the times when we come in and it's a total scratch and don't even touch that again. And sometimes it's half and half. Sometimes it's the instrumentation is amazing, but Kevin is saying like it's a total redo for the lyrics and the melodies, and that's what happened with Losing Battles. That's actually
Right.
the song that we had to redo on the melodies and the lyrics
That's the
side.
lyrics, right.
Yeah,
That's a big issue right now.
interesting process.
That's an issue
It's
with some bands as well right now. Yeah, they cannot perform the songs,
Yeah.
you know. In the studio it's perfect, but they cannot really perform them without backing tracks. I mean, there was this big problem, I think. Well, big argument with, I think it was Falling in Reverse, that they could not play at one festival because they didn't have their laptops.
oh right, okay.
People were like, laptops, what the F? But that's just normal. If you have a track with 6
Right.
guitar layers, but you only have 3 guitars, then guess what? You know, you add them.
Right.
Yeah.
What if you have like for Fallen in Reverse specifically, right? Like they obviously have like a lot of electronic elements and like
Exactly.
you know they're like almost straight up like rap parts, right?
Yeah.
That are played
Yeah.
on top of the beat.
Yeah.
Like how are you gonna replicate that in a live scenario without the backing tracks? You would either have to have like a separate member for like DJ,
Yeah.
right? But then again, like if all the DJs right now, most DJs right now rely on their laptops as well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? For
We
samples
put
and
Falling
whatnot.
in Reverse in that
In
that argument.
in that specific argument, yes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, even Slipknot
Yeah.
has a sampler, Craig, and a DJ, so they have both. They are done, you know. They have their laptops, no problem there. So I never
Right,
understood.
exactly.
I never understood the argument because again, if you have an amazing sounding or wall of sound like Devin Townsend, for example, obviously you're gonna have some stuff backing up when you perform live, and not just for
You
the
would
band,
have
but
to
actually.
have 12 people on stage
Yeah.
then, so
Right,
like
right.
it's not possible.
And the reason behind it is actually not because of the artist per se. It's just to bring you exactly that nice sound and those effects to the people, to the audience.
Right. Well,
It doesn't mean that you have to cancel the show. I don't think that's what we do necessarily. If something goes wrong, I think we would be able to get away and play.
play something
You know,
acoustically, right?
we played without backing tracks before. It's okay.
Right, but like,
But it's not the best. It's not the right representation of our sound. But
Yeah.
if shit hits the fence, you know,
Yeah.
you should do. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
so
for sure.
going back to Fallen in Reverse, right? Like, how do you imagine a song like "Watch the World Burn" sound in an acoustic scenario, right? It's not possible. Like,
Yeah.
it's just not gonna sound good, you know, just because like there's so much going on there. Like, there's all those changes throughout the song. Like, with them playing it just on acoustic guitar
Of course.
or piano without
Yeah.
prior preparation,
Yeah.
is, you know, just not gonna work. Maybe if they spend a week reimagining it, like they reimagined like Last Resort from Papa Roach, right?
Yeah.
That would be a different scenario, right?
Yeah.
Of course, they probably would find a way to make that song work as well.
Yeah, especially that sound.
But-
That's a good example, by the way, Andre. That's a good example because Watch the Whole World Burn, man, that is almost like a Hans Zimmer soundtrack to a movie. You know, it's almost like
Exactly.
an orchestra. So you cannot tell
Right.
Hans Zimmer to just perform with 2 people. Obviously, he has everybody there. You know.
Right, exactly. Yeah, just try to imagine like a soundtrack to Interstellar played on like one guitar, right? Like
Yeah.
it's not more like it's just silly, you know. Like, people are so stuck in their old ways and they confuse different terms. You know, they confuse like playing to backing tracks with like lip syncing to actual like vocal tracks. You know, some people don't even know the difference. You know, like they think vocal tracks is like cheating, while in reality, like, well, almost every single rock or metal artist, well, maybe metal less as far as like classic metal goes, right?
Yeah.
But like as far as like symphonic metal, like what do they have? Like the whole symphony there with them?
Exactly.
If they do, good for them. Like, but like imagine the budgets that they would, imagine the ticket prices that you know, listeners would have to pay to attend such shows. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? It all started when people all of a sudden learned about the term autotune. People were just throwing autotune here, autotune there, blah, blah, blah. They didn't even know what it
I love
was.
those comments.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. But, you know, the autotune being a thing, you know, with the music industry for, like, so many years right now, like, nobody's recording without actual pitch correction, you know? Like, every record, or I would want to say, maybe there are some exceptions, but, like, as far as, like, commercially successful records, that are produced by any major record label or actually any label whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
If that genre doesn't specifically ask for like raw sound, like some punk rock maybe, like, and I don't mean like Green Day, right?
Yeah.
I mean
Yeah.
like raw punk rock,
Mhm.
right? Or like some death metal that doesn't need any pitch correction whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
Everything is being pitch corrected. Like if you guys think your favorite singers are not being pitch corrected, you are wrong.
Well, actually, Andre had a argument about that with Ronnie.
With Ronnie Radke. Of all people in the world.
Yes.
When was that?
On the Instagram.
It was like last year.
Ronnie's
It's funny.
cool like that. He likes to
On the account, what is it?
So it was Last Resort.
Jesse.
Jesse Lee's account.
Jesse Lee's account. It wasn't even not under his video. He like searched his video posted on another person's account and browsed through the comments and found Andre's comment about like pitch correction used and just got freaked out. And it's like, I don't use any pitch correction.
I think actually that he was saying like there's no autotune. So specifically it was about autotune. But whatever, yeah. Anyway.
I mean, it's the more technology advances, the more people will learn about stuff like that, and the more they're gonna accuse good musicians about using whatever stuff like that.
Right.
And again,
at the end of the day,
necessarily.
it's not really like the argument shouldn't be like autotune or no autotune.
Yes.
Like a bad vocalist will never sound good with autotune.
Exactly.
It's just not a thing. It's just gonna sound very robotic. It's just gonna have those artifacts.
Yeah.
You can't. Then that's the like our performances in the studio are pitch corrected, right? But that doesn't mean that like I mentioned before, Kevin is gonna torture
It doesn't
us.
save us from an hour going through the line.
Through one line, exactly. Until Kevin is gonna get it to like until it sounds like 99.9, and then that extra 1%, that extra little bit of polish.
And then you like nailed all the notes. Everything sounds great. You're like, we got it. He's like, well, I just didn't feel it.
I just didn't feel it. Yeah, exactly. So, you just have to accept it as part of the reality, or you don't. Like if you don't want to use pitch correction, you don't have to. Like nobody's stopping you, right? But like if your goal is in your mind is that perfectly polished sound, like that perfect vocal take, well, there's a dilemma. Do you want to pay a studio $200 an hour and keep trying, for like 3 days in a row? Mm-hmm. Maybe some vocalists are, that talented that they can, and some are, that they can do it in just a few takes and like it's perfect. It doesn't need anything.
Right.
But then
that doesn't mean that we pay $200 an hour. Just saying.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, and then you need to perform the song the way you heard it, live all the time. So otherwise people will complain like, "Hey, what happened here?"
Right. Well, no, it's it's a complicated matter, and people are like quick to jump to conclusions.
Yeah.
Somebody says something very interesting, by the way, Andre. Here, Gamecock says a good song doesn't need to be perfect; it just needs to be real. So I guess he means it needs to feel real. Yeah, I also agree to that, by the way.
That is correct. Yeah, but the thing is, like, we as listeners are so used to that pitch perfect sound by now, because like I said, almost every record gets through pitch correction, right?
Yeah, this is
like we're not gonna say, oh, like this he goes a little bit out of pitch here. It's just gonna be like,
it sounds terrible.
Something is off. Something is off here. Like I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah, you're just starting to hear those things. Like I listened to the old recordings, and now I like pick up those songs that I've listened so many times before, and now I hear like how off she goes like a little bit on some point. Mm-hmm. Does it bother me? No, but it like I know that this is happening, and it's so wild. It's kind of like happening to you on the background.
Yeah.
Right. It's wild.
Are you fans of intentionally doing some pitch, changes towards the end of this the song? Many people do this. Melodic death metal or melodic metal, they normally change it towards the end.
Yeah,
The
right.
last
Yeah,
verse.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So modulation, basically, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So not a big fan of that. I don't think we ever used it
No,
in
no.
our songs.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we would do it, but like to me, it's a little bit of a like a trick from an old book, so to speak. I've heard it so many times before, and it kind of has a little bit of like a cheesy effect to me.
Yes.
Like.
That reminds me of a line where we had in our song, "Walking in your shoes," and Cameron's like, "No, not.
No, we're not using that line.
using
Right.
that
Walking in your shoes.
Yeah, I've heard that line a million times before. Think of
That's so
something else.
funny.
Yeah. So not a fan of modulation, but like if it works for some people, power to them,
Yeah.
right? A lot of Russian artists, I feel like, especially back from like the 80s and 90s, they were so heavy on using that as a
Yeah.
trick, right?
That's true.
Because it kind of brings it up to the next level. Oh, now I can hit this note, right? And now I can go this high. And
Yeah.
Vocal acrobatics.
vocal acrobatics is not exactly our preference.
Yeah, and it's mostly towards the end, like the last verse. For some reason, nobody starts with a pitch change at the beginning. It would be like, what is that? It's always
Right.
towards the end. Everybody,
Yeah.
we got more questions here, especially if you're using digital plugins instead of guitar pedals for your effects and sound. Yeah, of course, that's another thing. I think it's about the story earlier. We got another thing here. Dead Star, a song by Muse comes to mind. Matt Bellamy clearly has a cold or fever because you can hear his sniffles and affected vocals, and still it was amazing live. Yeah, sometimes, back in the day, the first Korn record, I remember you were hearing Jonathan Davis breathe like in between, and that gave, this authenticity, that was also very raw. I liked it a lot as well.
Right.
That's
true.
true.
That's one of the tricks in production. Like if you want it to sound raw, like don't really cut out like all the breaths in between.
Yeah.
As opposed to like if you want to sound it a little more polished, you have to cut the breaths out, and like if there's like mouth noises in between takes, you normally cut them out,
Yeah. I got one more question right now. This is a personal question. Do you actually repeat your choruses, or you record every chorus independently? Meaning one nicely recorded one and then just repeat it, paste, copy paste, or not?
Right. So it depends on a song to song basis. I would say most of the time it's a copy paste. Just again, same reasoning from the time preservation point.
We talked about this with Kevin. Like, should we actually record it again? And there should be a purpose behind that. If it's a different part or a different like expression, you should do it again.
Yeah.
If you're just repeating the chorus for like in the middle of the song, then it doesn't require anything extra, and we're already like picking the best takes from whatever we recorded. So that's how we deal with that problem.
I agree. Yeah, maybe towards the end sometimes. Like I think again, Slipknot, before I forget, he does it at the end. The last verse, the last chorus. I think. Everybody,
if there's some vocalizations, right, or melisms going on, right? Yeah, obviously re-record it again. Like add a little bit of that extra, extra character to it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
for sure. If, like you said, if it makes sense, the timing has to be good. Towards the end of the song, if the instrumentals become faster maybe or heavier, then of course it makes sense. But in the middle of the song, I agree with you. If it's a second chorus, very weird. I would not do that as well. We're going to listen to one more song, I think. Should we do that? And then we have one more question, and I think that's it almost here for today.
Sure.
Let's go with the, what do you want to do? Do you want to do Overcome, or do you want to do Victim? We want to do Victim probably.
Yeah.
You know what? Victim is actually right here at the corner. It's the first one recommended here. Victim.
Okay.
Wow.
YouTube knew better, see?
Yeah. For once they threw us a bone.
Yeah, okay, let's check this one out. Everybody, Major Moment with Victim. Catch them on tour soon if you are in the North American area. We're going to talk about maybe plans and tour dates afterwards, but make sure to follow them. Click on the link that Matthew shared. And now we have another song by this amazing band. Here we go now. Major Moment with, let's see, bam, with Victim. I remember this one. This was the first one I think you brought to the table.
Yep.
Memories and thoughts of what could have been, drowning your misery like tidal waves. Cold immersion to the depths of your existence, where you indulge in chasing yesterday.
Mamushka.
Breathing the air of the past. You're the victim of your whole life passing by. No harm, no foul, nobody's gonna cry. Nostalgia drags you down the rabbit hole. The bittersweet intoxication wearing off. Rough awakening from the same mistakes you're making. Will leave you wondering if you've had enough. Stop looking back. Breathing the air of the past. You're the victim of your whole life passing by. No harm, no foul, nobody's gonna cry. Lost in the haystack and hope, wasting away, filled with decay, swallowing you. Running the red lights into dead ends, here the headlights get distracted. Get distracted. Stop looking back. Breathe.
You know, this chorus right here actually reminds me a bit of Motionless in White. I'm not sure if I said it back then or not, but I like it. I like it a lot, the songwriting here.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's even a song that I was thinking of, da, 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 but by Motionless in White. Good one.
You're the victim of your whole life passing by. No harm, no foul, nobody's gonna cry. Looking back, breathing the air of the past. You're the victim of your whole life passing by. No harm, no foul, nobody's gonna cry. Lost in the haystack in a loop, wasting away, feel the decay swallowing you. Riding the red lines into dead ends, here the headlights get distracted.
Well, what a production, and by the way, what a video. When I've seen the video the first time, I was asking you, I was like, man,
Thank you.
how were you able to produce this one in Times Square and all those places?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a lot
It was
of fun.
fun. It was fun.
Yeah, that was amazing. So let us talk about performances and any future plans for live performances.
Right. So thank you for welcoming everybody to our non-existent tour, because we don't have one yet, unfortunately. Like we're trying to work on that, but like the reality of touring as an independent band right now is kind of rough. Everything is so expensive. Like we have to consider things like, well, buying or renting a touring vehicle. Because like there's 6 of us in the band, and then we would probably need like a photographer, a videographer, like a merch person, right?
Yeah, that's a lot of logistics that we have to like figure out. We definitely want to go on tour, and that's something that we're working on.
Yeah.
But it just takes a lot of time, unfortunately, and a lot of money that we have to find out of somewhere.
Yes, somewhere, right? So that we calculated that, like, for us to be able to go on tour, it's probably gonna take like, I don't know, $30,000 or something.
Yeah, this is crazy.
So it's a lot of money.
And then you don't even know if you're gonna sell a lot of tickets or not. So that's also really a
Exactly.
risk.
Exactly. Right. So at the time, right now, we're just focusing on playing like the shows that we know matter, like big festivals and whatnot, right? Like we would like to go anywhere in the world. Like people ask us, like when are you coming to Mexico, or like when are you coming to Brazil? I know some people from Brazil are probably watching right now, right? And the reality is like we would love to, but like not, not every big band like that is signed to like a major label can afford to go to Brazil right now,
Yeah.
right? Because everything is so expensive. We're focusing on just building our audiences at the moment, and like expanding our reach to new audiences, year over year, creating more music, creating more music videos for you guys. And hopefully, if the demand is there, we're gonna go on tour as well. And it's not like we're trying to like make money or anything like that off of that tour. Like for us, like even breaking even with the tour would be like a perfect case scenario right now for our
That's
for our
perfect.
first tour, right?
That
And-
alone will be harder to do
Exactly.
nowadays, because
Yeah.
people stopped going to shows necessarily. Like after pandemic, it took a big hit, and a lot of
Yeah.
people prefer to stay at home. So
Right. I was what I
like,
was
it's getting better, but
right.
it's risky.
We were watching like a conference from South by Southwest West the other day, right? And the person who was the speaker there, she was talking about like the reality of touring as a small independent artist. So she calculated that on average it costs a band about $600 to play a show, right?
Yeah.
Like you go over there, like you have to stay somewhere, right? You have to buy something to eat. It
Yes.
doesn't have to be fancy, but like
Yes.
a sandwich or something,
Right.
right?
Bare
And you have to
minimum.
bare minimum spend money on gas and stuff, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So $600, and then the guarantee that the clubs are paying is like $150 to $250.
That's
So
true.
instantly you're in negative
Minus.
$450, right?
Yeah.
And then when you multiply it by like whatever 10 dates or 20 dates, however long your tour is, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna end up losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
So we would like to tour, would love to tour, but like we're trying to also make it make
So
some
that's
sense to us.
last trip.
So it's not our last tour ever, and it doesn't mean that we have to stop making music or doing what we're
Right.
doing and just focus on like going to our day jobs like 24/7 and like trying to get out of that hole.
I'm thinking, of course, about many things right now. I cannot say everything right now live on air here because we have some context regarding the German festivals and the bands and the festivals and labels I work with. But I'm thinking, because your style will be so highly appreciated in Germany, especially. They love it. I mean, they really like it. So we can always talk behind the scenes about stuff like that. Maybe a good friend of mine now, who's a singer of Profiler, a good band that people know the band. They just started the tour yesterday with Vendit in Germany.
Nice.
Yeah, just yesterday. And for them, for some reason, it worked so easily. We can talk about this stuff behind the scenes. There's another friend of mine who runs and helps the Reload Festival. It's a very, very big festival. This year in August, Korn is also coming, Spirit Box, many, many bands. So I know it's a bit different, the system in Germany. I know because I work with many labels, Napalm Records, Sony Media, we work with. So I know things behind the scenes there. I know United States is unbelievable expensive, especially this merch cut thing, like all of a sudden venues. This is incredible, like this is insane.
I didn't even mention that, it's not even taken into consideration because that's like an additional cherry on top,
Unbelievable.
Right.
So we can maybe find something there for sure. I think we can definitely connect.
Hopefully,
That would
and
be-
like I mentioned,
We have
we're
listeners from Germany as like
we have a lot
third
Yeah.
country on our Spotify.
on Spotify,
Yeah.
third most
Definitely.
listened country,
Yep.
So would be awesome.
yeah. And again, we're open to all possibilities or opportunities that might come along, come our way,
Yeah.
and we take whatever we can, right? So if, like, for example, we're playing the Capulet Fest in Connecticut. It's actually a good festival, they're bringing in.
It's their third year, and this year is like the lineup is stacked. It's so
Right.
good.
So they have
Very
August
nice.
Burns Red on Friday, they have Skillet headlining on Saturday, and they have Nothing More headlining on Sunday, but they also have like mid-tier bands like Red and like
Census Fair.
Census Fail, right?
Nice.
From some emergent bands like Sleep Theory,
Ah.
right? So Yeah, a good lineup for sure. Definitely worth checking
They
it
just
out.
introduced Lazy Storm.
Yeah,
who's
Lacey
going to
Storm
be
is
there.
going to be there from
I know,
Flyleaf,
right?
Right,
right?
Thought
exactly.
so.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
so some legends there for sure.
Wow.
So we're stoked to be a part of that, right? Obviously. So
sure.
for things like that, we obviously are okay, spending however much time and money on preparation to it,
Yeah.
traveling there. Luckily, is not an issue for us because it's only like an hour away drive from
Yeah.
us, So, but we went to we drove to like Blue Ridge Rock Festival a couple of years
Yeah.
ago,
Nice.
which was like a 14-hour drive, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then to Louder Than Life, also the same 14-hour drive to like Louisville. So we're
Right.
we're fine to
That's
travel.
fine.
We're fine to spend money on touring. It just has to make some sense financially. Like
Of
we
course.
don't have to be paid a lot, but something to like
Yeah.
at least we want to know that we're gonna see. The thing is like it's not even about like how much the clubs are paying. Like we want to make sure that there are
That
people
it's
in the
working.
room
Yeah.
that it's working, right? Like that we're playing in front of an actual audience, in front of our fans or like fans to
Yeah.
become, and not just in front of other bands and like bartenders. Like
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong to that, but just like coming back from a tour like that, it's just gonna be it's gonna put a dent
Exactly.
in our
Exactly.
you know
It's a business at
financial
the end.
situation and
Yeah.
whatnot.
It's a
Yeah.
business. Once you see something working, no matter if we say now monetary, if it's $1, once you see it's actually working, then you can, change some screws here and there, but then
Right.
at least you have the answer. Okay, here we go. It's actually
Right.
working. Let's increase.
Yeah.
Do you know this festival, New Sick World?
Yeah, of course.
Unbelievable, right? I think it's happening this
Yeah.
weekend. I think this weekend.
Yeah. Of course, yeah.
Crazy.
In Las Vegas, right? Yeah.
Crazy.
That's
Amazing.
crazy. The
Yeah.
crazy lineup, and we were just talking with Sasha about it
Yeah,
the
this
other
is
night, like
wild.
how they're gonna have like the
I shouldn't
stages.
find it. I just looked. I saw the post with the lineup, and it's like tick, 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 like
And
It's
everybody.
not-
next to each
right.
other.
Right. And
What
like
is this?
Sits off and
it's a
down.
crazy festival. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a crazy festival. Like you cannot possibly see so many bands
Yeah.
like all at once.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I dare you. Like you cannot go and see all the bands you want in that festival.
And
Like,
it's
I don't-
one day, I think, only one day.
Right, it is.
This
Right,
is
it
so
is, yeah.
bizarre, I mean, in Germany,
Yeah.
in Russia, probably too. The festivals are always like 2-3 days a weekend, normally.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
No. I think the first year, they had it one day at first, and then they introduced the second day. So everybody was like, okay, so they're splitting it. But in reality, they actually like doubled down on that. So they had the same lineup on one day,
Just
day
two
one,
times.
and the
Yeah.
same lineup on day two as well.
Wow.
Which is like bunkers, like
Wild.
from the standpoint of like how everything is put together and organized. It's just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
crazy,
Next level.
I hope the
Next
weather will
level.
be okay because there was this big issue in 1999 in New York, the Woodstock. It was crazy.
Yeah,
People didn't have
yeah,
any
yeah.
water, nothing. So now knowing in Nevada, the desert, it can also turn really ugly really fast. If people
Definitely.
don't really check
Yeah,
on the
for
rules.
sure.
Yeah, for sure. I
For
don't
sure.
know.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't really know how they were able to finance that. I mean, it's in Las Vegas, but how much money you had to put in? This is insane. I'm not
Yeah.
sure who's
A lot of
It
money.
is Las
Yeah.
Vegas.
It's a lot of
so.
money.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
All right, everybody. So,
Uh,
thank you so much. I think we're gonna have you on the channel. I hope so. Again, definitely. We should catch
Oh, for
catch
sure.
up
And then,
all the
you
time.
know,
On that note,
on that note, we wanted to show
Ah,
the
yeah.
acid
Right.
rain.
There
this
we go.
one. Ta-da!
Oh, that looks amazing.
Here's the acid green,
That looks great.
and it looks a little bit different with the
Without
light.
source.
From the
Yeah.
angle. Yeah. That is awesome. So where can we
So
buy
yeah,
them? On your Instagram? shop
on
or-
our website we have our merch shop, little merch shop.
Okay.
Everything is hand packed by us. Like we can
What a
sign.
bonus.
That's a floral splatter. variant,
That's
right?
amazing. I think Matthew right now says he's gonna buy one exactly now. Majormomentband.com. That's your website.
No, thank you so much,
That's
Matthew. And
right,
like,
thank
you know,
you.
write us a note. We're gonna personalize it to you. We're gonna sign it.
Yes,
we'll
we're
be
just
happy
gonna-
to. Thank you for supporting
Perfect.
us.
Hey,
And
thank you.
Johnny, thank you for having us on the stream. You know,
All the
it's
time.
amazing to be here, and we're happy to do it anytime. Reach out and
Yeah,
we'll
it
make
was a
happen
great
again.
time.
Thank you so much, and thank you
Hey.
everybody for watching.
Spasibo, of course, no problem.
There
Spasibo.
you go.
Let's talk definitely on Discord. Maybe we can do something this summer even for you. Maybe we can find something.
I appreciate it. Thank you so
Awesome,
much,
man. See you later,
Thank
man.
you for all your
Thank you.
support.
Yeah.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye, everybody.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Take care.
All right, everybody, that was Major Moment, and now we're gonna continue with some music now. The list is open. We can now start with the normal stream, or we can also head over to Twitch. Oh, here we go. We might take a short break and be back. I think that makes more sense. See you all in 2 minutes latest. Maybe we even start a new stream. And Jessica is the stream queen. Okay. Thank you, everybody. We're going to be back exactly in 1 minute. Matthew will share the link. Awesome. See you soon.